Imagine walking into a Starbucks and placing an order with your ingredients saying you want your milk, coffee, matcha, whatever. You're basically giving your ingredients, but you're not telling the barista how to do their job, right? So, in a similar sense, if you put the same concept to the vibe coding, you're basically telling an AI agent, hey, could you make me a website to sell my sneakers, but can you also add payment UPI so I have the final product? All I'm doing is taking my idea and putting into a working product. Now I can sell my sneakers. That's all I want to do. So this is exactly where the vibe coding comes into the picture. So I'm going to cover this topic in the simplest sense possible. And then I'm also going to cover some of the tools, some of the snippets here and there and stuff like that. Now this video is brought to you by Tech Trends EVP. The word vibe coding was termed earlier in 2025 from, I believe, probably the co-founder of OpenAI, right? So there's no typing involved, no coding. Now, it brings us to the thing that, oh, prompts. So, well, I'm going to send my prompt, and this is where majority of the AI is gonna be moving forward as well as the prompt engineering. So if you're new to it, you probably want to look into it because this is where most of the job market is gonna move towards, and then obviously the ML agents and things like that. How this works is you generate a prompt, you're saying, can you build me a website? Keep it as minimalistic as possible. Give as less details as possible if you want. Give as more details as you want. Once you send this prompt, the AI is going to generate the code for you in this here. And then once the code is generated, you could basically test it. You can run it to see if that's the website that you wanted. And if you feel like you want some changes on the menus, columns, widgets, and things like that, you just request it to be redefined. And then once that is done, you are set to deploy. It's the same thing. Basically, in three steps, is like you're sending out the prompt, it's generating the thing for you, and then you're just basically modifying it and using it for its purpose. Now, some examples are MenuGen, which is like it's a text-based thing where you send it as a restaurant about all the dishes that you have, and it generates the menu for you with graphics and on the go. Now, there's Notion, a productivity tool, enhance their features, and that's the best way forward. Also, it definitely streamlines the coding process, and it also builds up the efficiency for it. Now, there are some tools out in the market right now, not in any proper order, but if I had to put it in some order, I would use Claude, I would use Copilot, and I would use ChatGPT, and of course the DeepSeek if I want to generate any of the scripts from these two AIs. And then Claude and Copilot to help me with my coding, and then Cursor could be probably inbuilt in a sense. And then Replit, I would put it on the bottom of the list for now, and we'll revisit this as we go along. Now, pros and cons. I'll start with the cons. Is definitely there are some potential for errors because if you're new to programming, it's the same as saying ask ChatGPT something, it sends you a script or a document, and then you ask for some rectifications. Sometimes it says the same thing over and over again in different ways. So if you did not know or what it was supposed to do, you don't know, you're at a dead end. Then that's where the promptness comes into the picture, the prompt engineering part. Well, there's some potential for errors, then there's less control over the code because you don't know the code, but it doesn't matter, honestly. These are just some limitation-ish, but then I wouldn't say like should be a blocker for you to create something cool. Now, there's also limitation on the customization options. Just once you ask ChatGPT to do something, it keeps repeating itself until like, you open a new chat is similar to that. Once you build the websites, there's only a certain elements that you can move around, and that's about it. And then reliance on AI technology. Of course, if you start using this, there's gonna be a thing for the software developers, but that's all right because of the fact that we are just starting out in the AI. There's a lot of years to go for us to fully forget about how to program it. And then now coming to advantages is fast coding process, definitely user friendly, creative, and then no typing required. Sure, you don't need any code. Now, this is a major concept called conversational code orchestration. I've divided this into two parts, as in to explain this in a better way. Now, a conversational AI is basically like 3, 4, 5, 7 AI, which we are going to call AI agents. So these agents are used to do one specific task in a very effective and efficient way. So these small agents can be picked up and clubbed into a big product together, which will become a single product at the end of all of this. So basically, all these agents are having conversations with each other, and together they complete this conversation loop. But how do they know which agents to talk to, how to go about all of these things? So, just like how the music is, there's this AI that is going to orchestrate these agents for you, telling them agent should go and talk to this agent, and the second one should go to three, but who is labeling this as one, two, three, A? So, this orchestration comes into the picture. Now, just to put it is in a very small example, a chatbot agent one is going to go to agent two and say that, can you comprehend what they are saying? And second one is going to the third one and going to do the solution of it, and then in the fourth it's going to throw back the understandable format for you. So all these four agents are working together to make this conversation make sense to you and give you the product that you actually desire as an output. Now, there's four other ways which we can go forward. Need some help from you guys to understand what you guys are looking for in a deep dive on my next video. One is like, if you guys want me to do a further AI driven code without manual typing, and then show you how you can use this vibe coding, then we can do a video on that. And then there's a conversational code, which is basically going to interact with this AI to generate this logical, like, make it make sense kind of thing. So I can do a deep dive on it. And then there's different AI tools which you can use to create your business or content. So I could also cover the current tools that are up and coming, or else I can also concentrate on the automation. So this is where I can take the same example of the website and say, like, all I want to do is like I want you to build the website. I want you to do the billing. I want you to send it to the order. If I'm doing drop shipping, I want you to send it directly. If not, see how much inventory I have. Based on that, either remove the thing from the site, whatever, like this different changes. So if you want to automate the whole flow from the start to end, and you just want to focus on looking at the dashboard and either sending out your products if you're doing that in person, or that's all you got to do. And you can automate this whole thing using tools like Zapier. And so I can do a deep dive on that as well. But do let me know what you guys want to see next, and I'll make a video on it. And if you have any other questions, in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you all for watching this video and hope that was helpful.